Hi, this is Elisa with Mirror Image Crafts, and in this video I'm going to show you one of my favorite things to do with MDS recently. I like to go into my old Stampin' Up! Catalogs and find card projects that I like and recreate them in MDS. Now the problem you'll run into if you start doing this is just that some of the stamps and embellishments and things like that you have access to in the old catalog or had access to in the old catalog aren't available in MDS. Some of them might be, but in the case of this card I'm showing you today, I had to pretty much just change just about everything. But I used the catalog then just as inspiration for ideas. Now if you're familiar with MDS, then you know that you can make projects from scratch, or you can take projects that are already designed by Stampin' Up! And then just use them as is or change them around. Well, I find this to be kind of a happy medium because I don't have to design the card or project, but I can just recreate it and then I'm not starting completely from scratch. So the card on the screen right now is a lovely sympathy card that I found in the catalog from 2009-2010. Just if you're interested in finding it in an old catalog, it's on page 138. And I just liked the design of the card. I wasn't planning on making a sympathy card, but I liked the idea of it, so that was my starting off point. So to show you the card I ended up making, and we'll talk about some of the changes I did. On this card you'll see just the green card base, a couple layers, some stitching. This is actually a crochet flower floret, I think is what they called it, and then a stamped flower. So my card is pretty similar, but I'll show you what I had to change. I didn't have the stamp set shown in the catalog for the flower, so what I did was I knew that I had Button Buddies stamp set in digital, and I just pulled over this flower and sized it the size I wanted, and I wasn't too worried about this part of the flower at the top because I knew I was going to be covering it. So I just sized it the size I wanted, and I'm not going to completely recreate the card on video, but you know, you just kind of change it, change the color. This is pistachio pudding to match the card base. And that was it for the flower. And then what I did after that, I didn't have any of the crochet florets, so I went into my embellishments and I knew that I had paper daisies. So I just found where those were and I started building up my flower layer by dragging over flower daisies, sized them down to match the size of my flower and just laid them over. That one's still a little too big, but then I want to show you all the paper daisies are white, and so this was an opportunity for me then to use my recoloring tool. So I came over here to the Design Center, clicked Recolor, found a color I thought might work for the paper daisy. I think I chose, let's see, Calypso Coral, and recolored it. And what's nice is it gives you a little bit of a preview of what it's going to look like before you select to commit that change. So that's always nice. You'll notice that I've selected Calypso Coral, which is one of the layers in my card, but you'll notice it's more kind of just a lighter version of that. That's what it's going to do a lot of times in the recolor tool, but I liked how that looked, so I clicked OK and changed that. Then I just kept adding flower layers until I liked how the design looked. Let's get rid of these for a second. Move those out of the way. Okay, and then finally I went back into my embellishments over here. You can go over to this tab as well. Then I browsed for my rhinestones. They're up at the top. Basic pearls and rhinestones. And what's nice is whether you're using a pearl or a rhinestone, and I'll just bring one of each over so you can see. You can also recolor these, which is really neat. So if you have the rhinestones in real life, then you've probably tried the trick where you can take a Sharpie marker or another permanent marker, or now the Blendabilities markers, and color over the top of your rhinestones and pearls. And that's a really neat trick. And so I was wondering, can I do that also in MDS? And yes, you can. You just go back to your recolor tool. And this one I also did Calypso Coral. And click OK. Again, it gives you a preview of what it's going to look like, just in case. Let me find, let's see what Calypso Coral looks like. Let me try pistachio pudding maybe, just to see. Where is that? There it is. So you can barely see that, but let's see what it looks like on our project. Yeah, that effect I don't like as well as I do with the other rhinestone, but just to show you, you can recolor some of these things. Probably a darker color would be better, would show up a little bit better. So there's an old olive or something. So just to kind of give you an idea of how I built the flower. And then in the original, we'll go back to the original, and it's got this stitching around the outside. So I knew I wanted to do stitching, but I wanted to change it up just a little bit. So I just found some stitching in my embellishments and plugged those in. Let me find those. Staple and stitching, I think. Yep, staple and stitching, and then I came down to, I just scrolled down because I knew I had some white. They come in different colors. So I just found the one I wanted to use, the stitched zigzag. I'm not sure which one this is. They're kind of hard to see, but I'll just pull one over. It may not be the same one, but you just pull it over. It comes in really big. Then you can just resize it how you like. And I did that just on the top and bottom, and then I also carried that design over to the inside of the card, and just to kind of give it a kind of a complete look. So that is how I redid this original card in my own style and made it in MDS. And it's just a really fun technique to try, and I hope you'll give it a try, and then also give that recoloring tool a try, because it's a lot of fun. You never kind of know what you're going to get with recoloring, because it doesn't recolor every single thing the way you're going to, so I like the preview feature on that. Just to show you one more example of some recoloring that I've done, I'm going to go to my 2012 family album. Yeah. And just show you another page where I used some recoloring. On this page, took a doctor's visit with my son. Let me turn off that. And I wanted to match the colors in this little boat that's in the waiting room. So these little flag elements aren't originally that color. So let me see if I can find those. Those are in here. These little flags actually come in like that, but I thought they were super cute. You can see that I kind of made them a little more narrow, but I recolored them to match the boat, and also the background paper isn't originally that color, it's kind of a brown color, and I recolored that also to match. So the way I did this piece is I clicked recolor, and then instead of selecting one of the colors, I went over here to more and came over to picker. Then I came over and found a yellow that I liked. Don't know if it's going to be exactly the same, but just did that. I guess I used a little darker yellow before, but you get the idea. So that shows me a preview of what the flag's going to look like, and I can either choose it or select another color or change something else up. But that's how I did recoloring on this page as well. So it's a lot of fun. I hope you give it a try, and I'll see you guys next time.